Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayarata Madhava Kunja Bihari Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai Jagannath Baladev Sudha Maharani ki jai Gurnitai ki jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parirajacharya Sutta Sati Shrimadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Go Premanande All glories to the assembled devotees All glories to the assembled devotees Glories to the assembled devotees All glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga All glories to Srila Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Chayavdiraye Nashta Prayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, chapter 24, text 23 and 24. We have first text 23. I just read the translation. There's no purport. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead could see no other means of taking everything away from Bali Maharaj, he adopted the trick of begging from him and took away all the three worlds. Thus, only his body was left, but the Lord was still not satisfied. He arrested Bali Maharaj, bound him with ropes of Varuna, and threw him in a cave in a mountain. Nevertheless, although all his property was taken and he was thrown into a cave, Bali Maharaj was such a great devotee that he spoke as follows. So that's the introduction, and then we have Bali's words, and this is text 24. And we have it even here on the board, so you can like to just follow reading it. It's a prosha, as you say. There is no meter or rhythm. Nunam bhattayam bhagavan arteshu na vishnato yo sav indro yasya sachivo mantraya vritta ekantato brihaspati tam atihaya svayam upindran atmanam ayachatatmanas chasishono eva tad dasyam ati gambira vayasa kalasya manvantara parivritam kiyalokatrayam idam. Okay, I go to the translation straight. Translation purpose by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Alas, how pitiable it is for Indra, the king of heaven, that although he is very learned and powerful, and although he chose Brihaspati as his prime minister to instruct him, he is completely ignorant concerning spiritual advancement. Brihaspati is also unintelligent because he did not properly instruct his disciple Indra. Lord Vamanadev was standing at Indra's door, but King Indra, instead of begging him for an opportunity to render transcendental loving service, engaged him in asking me for alms to gain the three worlds for his sense gratification. Sovereignty over the three worlds is very insignificant because whatever material opulences one may possess lasts only for an age of Manu, which is but a tiny fraction of endless time. Then we have purport. Bali Maharaj was so powerful that he fought with Indra and took possession of the three worlds. Indra was certainly very advanced in knowledge, but instead of asking Vamanadev for engagement in his service, he used the Lord to beg for material possessions that would be finished at the end of one age of Manu. An age of Manu, which is the duration of Manu's life, is calculated to last 22 yugas. One yuga consists of 4,300,000 years, and therefore the duration of Manu's life is 309,600,000 years. The demigods possess their material opulence only until the end of the life of Manu. Time is insurmountable. The time one is allotted, even if it be millions of years, is quickly gone. The demigods own their material possessions only within the limits of time. Therefore, Bali Maharaj lamented that although Indra was very learned, he did not know how to use his intelligence properly. For instead of asking Vamanadev to allow him to engage in his service, Indra used him to beg Bali Maharaj for material wealth. Although Indra was learned and his prime minister Brihaspati was also learned, neither of them begged to be able to render loving service to the Lord Vamanadev. Therefore, Bali Maharaj lamented for Indra. End of the purport. Om Jnana Timirandasya Kinanchana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Namobhistam Stapitam yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Again, text 24. Alas, how pitiable it is for Indra, the king of heaven, that although he is very learned and powerful, and although he chose Brihaspati as his prime minister to instruct him, he is completely ignorant and concerning spiritual advancement. Brihaspati is also unintelligent because he did not properly instruct his disciple Indra. Lord Vamanadev was standing at Indra's door, but King Indra, instead of begging him for an opportunity to render transcendental loving service, engaged him in asking me for alms to gain the 3 worlds for his sense gratification. Sovereignty over the 3 worlds is very insignificant because whatever material opulence one may possess lasts only for an age of Manu, which is but a tiny fraction of endless time. Hare Krishna. So in these verses we hear about how Lord Vamanadev appears and takes away everything from Bali, right? So what has Indra to do with that? Why now all of a sudden Bali talks of Indra? Any idea?
Because Indra asked.
Yeah. In the famous verse where the Bhagavatam establishes Krishna as the avatari, the source of all avatars, it says, Ite changsa kala pungsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. And it's translated as all the mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portion of the plenary portion of the Lord, but the Lord, Shri Krishna, is the original personality of Godhead, no? Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He's the original. And then it says, all of them appear on planets wherever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. That's Prabhupada's translation, but when we look at the Sanskrit, it says Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam. So basically, whenever Indra, or the enemies of Indra, when the enemies of Indra create some difficulties, then the Lord appears. Because Indra is the king of heaven. Indra is the king of the Devas. The Devas are Krishna's devotees. They are on the good side. So if the demons take over and things becomes too bad, then the Lord incarnates. And he comes to protect Indra. So the Lord comes to protect Indra. And in this case here, Bali, of course, he was the king. I mean, although he was a devotee, it's a bit of a complex situation. Although he was the grandson of Prahlad, and he, in a way, in heart, he was a devotee. But still, he was the king of the demons, and he conquered. He was more powerful than the Devas. So Vamana came, and on the request of Indra, Vamanadev came and took everything away from Bali. Right. So that's the context. But now Bali says, actually, Indra and even his teacher, Brihaspati, who is the guru of the Devas, is unintelligent. Why? Because they're only concerned about material possessions. Oh, Bali is more powerful than I'm the king of heaven. Why he has taken away my wealth? So I need to be opulent, I need to have material wealth. So Indra was concerned about his material position. Whereas Bali, of course, he took away everything, was very powerful, but when the time came, he was willing to just give it up. Just surrender to Krishna, to Vamana. And he says here that actually time is going so fast. Sometimes we think time is going fast, but here it says even if you have millions of lives, it goes fast. I want to speak of 60, 70 years, we have maybe 80 years. Someone becomes 90, wow, 90 years, very old. Hardly anyone reaches 100. Time is going so fast. Basically, we don't have much time left. That's a fact. No? And so, so time is very short, and instead of being so much concerned about material wealth, of course, we need something to live our lives, especially with family and so on, right? But it shouldn't be our main concern, our main priority in life. The main priority of our life should be how to render loving service to Krishna. And this is what makes a devotee. And a devotee, therefore, is very peaceful. There's this famous shloka in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Atta Eva Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Ashanta. Krishna Bhakta.
Sorry.
Yes.
And how we surrender to Krishna? Because when I see some people, they work in the garden, they also surrender to Krishna.
Well, Bali surrendered by giving everything, even his own self. Yeah, that's called Atma Nivedana, the surrender of the self. He gave everything. Because he gave 2 steps. He gave all the wealth he had. Nothing was left. So the only thing he could give was his own self. So he gave his self. So that's full surrender. So, but the Krishna Bhakta is a nishkama. What does it mean? Kama means? What does kama mean? Lust, desire. And nish means no. Or akama, nishkama is the same. So a Krishna Bhakta, he has no desire, and therefore he is shanta, very peaceful. But everyone else, the bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, shakali, ashanta, they all, sakala means all, they are ashanta, they are unsatisfied. Who are these? Those who strive for bhukti, that means those who want to have bhukti mukti, those who want to have liberation, those who want to have siddhi, want to have some mystic perfections, and those who have some material desires, kami, like some from material, they're all ashanta. Why? Because they have always desire. The yogi wants mystic perfection, the jnani wants to have liberation, the bhogi wants to enjoy. They want something. They have some meditation. I need this, I need that, I want this. And that's why they are disturbed. But the Krishna Bhakta, he doesn't have any desire, that's why he's peaceful. No. What is the desire? Only desire is to please Krishna. So that's the difference between Bali and Indra. So while Bali is has surrendered everything, Indra, and that's why Bali is a Nishkinchana Bhakti. He represents Nishkinchana Bhakti, devotion without any material possession or attachment. And Indra, he represents a Sakam Bhakta. That means he has still many desires. He's a devotee, but still has many desires. So the core difference is Bali, he says, take everything, I only want you. And Indra says, please protect me, what I have. There's a difference. No? Indra is still concerned about his own things, whereas Bali says, just take. So, Nishkincha Bhakta basically means one who has nothing. Kinchana means, Akinchana means one who doesn't has anything in this world. And so, materially and internally, he's completely detached. He has no separate desires from God, and he just loves God for his own sake alone. And that's Bali. So I belong to you, and whatever you do, it's perfect. Whereas the Sakam Bhakta, the mood is, okay, I worship you, but please fulfill my desires also. Krishna, Puja, yes, I worship you, Krishna, but then you should also give me something in return. Give me some wealth, give me some nice husband or nice wife, give me nice children, give me success, give me fame, give me this, give me that. But I worship you. So that's the difference. And of course, important is both are bhaktas. Krishna is accepting both of them. It's not that Krishna, he's nonsense, he has still desire. No. Krishna accepts all of them, But there is a difference. And of course, we see that in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna speaks of the 4 types of people who approach him. The Artha, he is in distress, so he reaches to God with a desire, oh, please save me. So this is Sakkam Bhakti, he has a desire. He needs protection. The Artharti is one who wants success, material gain, so please give me that. Also Sakkam Bhakta. Then the Jigyasu, the curious seeker, he's somewhere in between. He wants to know, who are you? What is the reality? So he's kind of going to a higher level. And then the Jnani, the wise, who actually knows who Krishna is, he just wants to serve Krishna, he is an Nishkinchana Bhakta. And Krishna says he accepts all of them as devotees, but the best among them is the Jnani. He's especially dear because he's free from a personal agenda. So, and of course, so this is Indra and Bali. But then Prahlad, who is the great-grandfather of Bali, he's even understood to be even more pure or more devoted. Why is that? Because Prahlad Maharaj, first of all, he did not even ask for, please save me. No? Although his father kind of threatened him, tried to kill him. It's not that Prahlad Maharaj was like standing there, please Krishna protect me, please protect me, and that's why the Lord protected. He was simply remembering, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, just remembering Krishna. And Krishna, of course, took care of him. And when once Hiranyakashipu was killed, Nrsingadev was asking for boon, asked him for boons. He said, Prahlad, you can ask anything from me. And he said, hey, I'm not a merchant, I'm not a businessman. No, it's not that I serve you and then I want to have something in return. Cumulus-Punkte in the Migros. No, you do something and then you get some extra points and then, yes, give me some extra points. No, I serve you and that's all, that's my relationship. I'm your servant. I don't need anything in return, I just serve you. So I do not serve you for something in return. So that's Ahitukhi Bhakti, it's completely causeless. That's why Prahlad is even seen higher. And of course this reminds us of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, which is a beautiful book written by Sanatana Goswami. And in the first volume, basically, there is this story of Narada Muni, and Narada Muni is looking for the best of the devotees. Of course, Narada Muni himself is a great devotee, but he wants to understand who is the best devotee. Which person has received the most mercy? And it's an interesting question, no? Like, we are a group of devotees here, so who has received more mercy? So, it's an interesting question. So Narada Muni was searching. So then he found there was one Brahmana, like a Karmakanda Brahmana, and he was singing at the banks of the Ganges, and he was doing some puja. Very pious, very nice Pakka Brahmana. And Narada Muni was, wow, you're such a wonderful devotee. I think you have received so much mercy from Krishna. You are the perfect devotee. And what did that Brahmana say? No. Actually, there is a king in this kingdom. There is a king. The king serves better. Devotion, because I can only offer a little flower, but this king, he engages the whole kingdom in the service of the Lord. So he's much better devotee, greater devotee. So Narada Muni then, okay, thank you. So he went to see the king. So he uses his power in the service of Dharma. And then the king says, no, Indra has higher devotion than me. So I do service with some responsibility, but still. So he sends Narada Muni to Indra. And then Indra says, no, although I serve with great responsibility, but still have some, I have some personal concern, you should go to Brahma, because Brahma, he has much more knowledge and he's very much devoted. He manages the whole universe. So like this, one devotee sends Narada to next. No, he's better. And that's very nice. That's the mood. No, not someone comes to you, oh, you're the greatest devotee. Yes, I'm the greatest devotee. Finally, someone recognized. It's not like that. Like, yes, yeah, please worship me. I'm the best devotee. No. So as soon as someone tells you you're the best devotee, wait a minute. No, actually, he's much better. That's the mood. That's the attitude. And it's also reality. I mean, it is really reality. There is always someone better than us. Not so difficult to recognize. There's always someone who has more experience, more knowledge, more devotion. Very natural. And a real advanced devotee, he is very advanced, he will still see there's someone else more advanced. There's no limit to that. Right? The example is given if a tree has no fruits, he stands erected straight. But if there's many fruits on the branches, then the tree will bow down naturally. So if someone is loaded with many good qualities, fruits, then naturally he will become humble. So someone who actually has quality, he's naturally humble. But if he just, if he's proud, actually he doesn't have quality. Really good quality means you become humble, very natural. So that's the devotees. So Brahma, although he's the creator of the universe, he says, no, Shiva is more absorbed and detached. No. So Brahma sends Narada to Shiva. And of course, we know Shiva in the Bhagavatam is described as the greatest among all Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. But then Shiva, Shiva is very much absorbed in meditation about the Lord. He's very detached in deep meditation. But then he says, actually, Prahlad's devotion is more pure. So you should go. So Shiva sends Narada to Prahlad Maharaj. This is connecting to our story today because Bali is the grandson of Prahlad. So Prahlad is even better than Shiva. And because he's very pure, he's fearless, steady devotion, even under the greatest difficulties, Prahlad was always remembering the Lord. But Prahlad says, no. Actually, Hanuman's service is more intense. No, Hanuman, I'm just sitting here and meditate on, what did I do? No, I was just, my father attacked me, misused me, but I just remember Krishna. And then Krishna came to protect me. But what's so great about that? But Hanuman, he was actively engaged. He did a lot of service for Lord Ram. Ram Navami is coming up on Thursday. So I'm sure we will hear about Hanuman. Hanuman's wonderful service to Lord Ram. So Prahlad sends him to Hanuman. And Hanuman is the perfect servant. He's in that Dasya Bhav. He has a very active, loving service. Like Prabhupada would translate bhakti, not just as devotion, but as devotional service. Right? Prabhupada always expressed that love means it's an activity. You do something, and Hanuman is the greatest servant. So then, Narada Muni glorifies Hanuman. Oh, you're the greatest. Everyone agrees. No. The king, the Brahmana, Shiva, Prahlad. Everyone confirms you're the greatest devotee. And Hanuman says, no. Actually, the Pandavas they have a more intimate relationship with Krishna. No, I don't have so much association with Ram, but the Pandavas, they're always with Krishna. They're very close to Krishna. So the Pandavas, they are even greater devotees. So what is Narada Muni doing? He goes to the Pandavas and he glorifies them. You're such an intimate relationship. The Lord is your friend. Krishna is always with you, always protecting you. And what do the Pandavas say? Who is greater than the Pandavas? Any guess? No, that's going down. They say Uddhava. Uddhava understands Krishna more deeply. No, Uddhava is very, very, very close to Krishna. Uddhava looks like Krishna, and he has similar qualities like Krishna. He's very close to Krishna. When Krishna was separated from Vrindavan, Brij, he sent Uddhava because Uddhava was very, very close. Uddhava knows Krishna very deeply. So Uddhava, he combines wisdom and intimate association. He's very advanced. So Narada goes to Uddhava, glorifies Uddhava. And what is Uddhava saying? No. Who is more glorious than even myself? finally now we have the gopis. Yes, the gopis. And we know, because when Krishna sent Uddhava to Vrindavan to console them, and Krishna is coming, don't worry. And by the way, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's a Paramatma, he's in the heart of everyone. You can have a relationship with Krishna like that. He tried to console them in some ways. But when Uddhava saw the great separation, the great love of Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, of the gopis, he understood, oh my God, I only have theoretical knowledge. The love the Brijbasis show, this is beyond what I ever thought. And so much so that Uddhava spent several months in Vrindavan associating with the Brijbasis. And he develops the desire, oh Krishna, please, in my next life, please let me become a blade of grass in Vrindavan with the hope that the Brijbasis with their feet tremble on me, so I get the dust of the gopis on my head. That's Uddhava prayers. So the gopis are the highest. They have pure, selfless love, and only Krishna's happiness is what matters. And of course, among the gopis, then Srimati Radharani, she is the topmost of all the gopis, and her love is like without any comparison. So in this way, we have this journey from the pious Brahmana to the king, to Indra, to Brahma, to Shiva, to Prahlad, to Hanuman, to the Pandavas, to Uddhava, and finally to the gopis. So the gopis, and why are the gopis the perfect, Radharani? Because, their only interest is to please Krishna. There is this pastime with the Krishna had fever. I'm sure you have heard that one. One day Krishna had fever. Narada Muni came, what's wrong with you, Krishna? Well, I have some fever, some headache, fever. I need medicine. Okay, I can, there is a drugstore, I can get you some medicine. No, this is not ordinary. No, I'm not an ordinary person. If Krishna has fever, it's not an ordinary fever. This is a very special fever, and only the dust from the feet of my devotees will cure that fever. So you have to bring dust from the feet of my devotees. And but who will, because we understand, putting our feet on Krishna or the dust, this is very offensive. No, we take Krishna's dust, but not that we put our feet on Krishna. That's not the other way around, right? So who will give that? And you will find devotees. So Narada Muni tries, and whoever he asks, they say, no, I cannot give. We go to hell. This is a great offense. So finally, Narada Muni, he goes to Dwarka, and all the queens, although they love Krishna so much, but they have own reverence. They have this, but Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and how can I give my dust? This is not proper. So when he finally comes to Vrindavan, and he asks the gopis, they immediately, oh, Krishna has fever? Oh my God, please, take. And everyone, they had competition. Please take from my feet, take the dust from my feet. How many bags did you brought? No, we have so much dust, please take. And Narada Muni was like, wait a minute. Everyone else was hesitating. Why are you so eager to give? Don't you know, if you put your dust from your feet on Krishna's head, you may have to go to hell. And what did the gopis say? Even if Krishna's headache will be gone for a few seconds, and Krishna will be relieved only for a few seconds, we are ready to go to hell forever. That's the selfless love of the gopis. Their only concern is how to give pleasure to Krishna. That's all. And no personal consideration. So therefore, the gopis are glorified, especially Srimati Radharani as the topmost of the devotees. So, having said all of this, what is our position? Most probably we still have a couple of desires in our hearts, and maybe we are not yet Nishkam Bhaktas, right? Anyhow, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's expressing this mood of a devotee who is free from any desires. Beautiful song. Prabhutava pada yuge morani vedana naimagi deha sukha vidyadana jana naimagi svarga ara moksha naimagi nakari parartha kona vibhutira lagi. O Lord, I make this appeal at your lotus feet. I do not want bodily pleasure, mundane education, wealth, or any numbers of followers. I don't need bodily pleasure, education, wealth, or followers. That's usually exactly what everyone is looking for, right? Everyone wants some comfort for the body. Like in the winter we have a heating system, in the summer we have AC. Now we have whatever. The whole technology of the modern civilization is all to give pleasure to the body. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I don't need that. I don't need mundane education, I don't need wealth, I don't need money, and I don't need people who follow me. Oh Lord, I neither want heavenly pleasure, nor liberation from material existence. I do not pray to you for achieving any kind of mystic perfection. So now he says, even I don't want, because the first was gross, even the subtle, I don't need liberation, I don't need mystic powers, nothing. And then what does he need? In whatever species of life I'm born, according to the result of my good and bad karma, may I always chant your holy name and glorify your transcendental qualities. If I want something, the only thing I want is, let me chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. E matra asama matomara charane ahituki bhaktiridhe jaga anukshane. My only desire that I submit at your lotus feet is that your causeless devotional service may constantly remain manifested within my heart. So the only desire is that ahituki bhakti hridheya jage anukshane, that bhakti should remain in my heart. It should not go. No, it should be there. Now I have developed little bhakti, please let it be there. It should be continue. May I develop the same kind of attachment for your lotus feet that at present I have for material enjoyment. So as much I naturally feel attracted to sense gratification, which is very natural and is very strong usually. So let me have that same intensity, not for material things, but for you. Let that attachment remain perpetually, and by the influence of your holy name, let it increase further day by day. So that's interesting also. So that devotion should remain in my heart, and by the influence of my chanting, of the sadhana that I practice, it should increase, it should become more and more and more. Pashu pakshi hayetaki svargevani raya tava bhakti rahu bhakti vinoda hridayam. It does not matter whether I take birth as an animal or a bird, or whether I live in heaven or in hell. Doesn't matter. I don't know, that's quite high. I certainly it would matter to me whether I have to go to hell or heaven. It's quite a difference, right? But it don't matter, it doesn't matter. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's only prayer to you is that your devotional service may always remain within my heart. That's all I want. Confirmed. Jai Jagannath Baladev Subramanian Maharani ki Jai. Shishigor Nitai ki. So that's the mood of the pure devotee. The pure devotee only wants Krishna. And he doesn't want anything else. So again, this might be, and I mean the good message is that in the eyes of Krishna, even the Sakham Bhakta is also accepted as a Bhakta. Like the fact that we have material desire is not a disqualification that Krishna now, this is, No, Krishna also accepts us as a devotee. But, of course, we should try to transfer our heart and purify our heart to come to that level where we give up everything and just want Krishna, right? So we can reflect. I mean, that's something that we can just do on our own, but it's just some idea I want to give to you. So So we can ask ourselves, because according to this Nishkam Bhakta, Krishna is number one, right? For these devotees, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur offering these prayers, nothing is more important than Krishna. Krishna is number one in his life, right? So that's the Nishkam Bhakta. Krishna is number one, and everything else comes after. So what are currently the most important things in my life? Now we can ask ourselves, what is most important in my life? And we can just reflect, there can many things, can be relationships, friendships, comfort, recognition, maybe it's our growth, or maybe it's spiritual life, whatever it is, but something in our heart most probably takes most priority. So where do I actually invest my time, energy, and emotions? We can easily reflect, like, what occupies my thoughts most? What do I protect most? What do I struggle to let go of? Like, basically, what do you value? And what do you live? Because when we say value, that which is really important, this will be manifested in the way we think, in the way the emotion we have, what we give focus, right? So in my daily life, what is functionally my number one? Is it security, relationship, success? And if we honestly assess ourselves and maybe see, okay, maybe this or that is my main priority, then we can ask ourselves, how can I bring Krishna a little more into the center of my life? Because transformation is not something that happens just in 1 second. Okay, I don't know, I get up in the morning, all of a sudden I'm enlightened. It's not working like that. It's a process. It takes a long time, and it's small steps. But these little steps, they count. This is very important. It's the small change that over a long time brings about the transformation in our lives. So basically, how can I bring Krishna a little more into the center of my life? No, it can be some mindful offering during the day, some act of devotion, just try to improve our sadhana, our prayer, our chanting, something to improve it even a little bit. But if every day we improve it a little bit, then over time, there is a big transformation. I think that's it's a very practical point, that transformation is not like a one-time event, but it's a constant practice and improving a little bit. And in this way, we can reflect, okay, how can I bring Krishna a bit more in the center of my life? And ultimately, finally, hopefully, we come to the level of Bali Maharaj, who has given up everything for the Lord, and then eventually even, as we heard in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, going up to the pure selfless love of the gopis. So this was today's shloka. Bali Maharaj is, it's interesting. He is bound up by the rope of Varuna and he's punished by Vishnu, but he's not lamenting about himself. He's lamenting about Indra, because I'm punished. I lost everything, but at least I can render some service to Krishna, and that's actually the most important. And Indra, who may possess everything, he's such a fool. He's not asking for service. So that's today's shloka. And we reflected a little bit on what is actually important and how the devotees just want to please Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Any comments or any questions?
Can we meet, gopis also live in Vrindavan?
The gopis, they're living in Vrindavan, yes. That's where they are.
But you can also meet them in Vrindavan.
Sure, yeah. You can even become one of them. You can also become a manjari, you can assist the gopis. Okay, yeah, that's our ultimate goal, no? We want to enter into the realm, the spiritual world, and associating with Krishna and his eternal associates. And why do we aspire for this kind of love? Because it's the purest. Because in Vrindavan, nobody is, they love Krishna just because he's Krishna. They don't love Krishna because he's God. In Vaikuntha, there's still this own reverence. There is Aishwarya. And of course, they also love Krishna. They even have prema. They have pure love of God. It's very advanced, very big. But it's mixed with own reverence, and that's why this love is a bit shrunken. It's a little bit limited. But in Vrindavan, the love is unlimited. It's completely pure, because they love Krishna just because he's Krishna, and they even forget that he's God. That makes the relationship much more intimate, and that's why we strive for that kind of love. I mean, that's Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give that kind of love, and we are following in the footsteps of Mahaprabhu to achieve that kind of love. That's why Mahaprabhu is the most merciful incarnation, because he gives the highest to the lowest. This is the highest. The love of Vrindavan is the highest love of the gopis. And Mahaprabhu comes and brings that love to Kali Yuga, to the lowest. And that's why Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. He's the most munificent, most merciful incarnation. But yes, we want to see the gopis. We want to be with the gopis and Krishna. Anything else? All right, thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Go Premanande. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Vevacha, Bodhitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. Krishna.